Welcome, everyone. What we're going to talk about today is Introduction to Automotive Sales. I'm Robert Branch. I'm the corporate trainer for the Butler Automotive Group. And some of the objectives that we're going to do in this module will help you understand the objectives for the course and the responsibilities of a professional salesperson. Okay? So I want you to lock in, be alert, and let's dive in, if you will. Course objectives. Okay? What are your expectations for this course? And, think about that a minute. What are your objectives? We have seasoned salespeople here. We have 14 dealerships. And so you'll be able to take care of a customer, sell, and make a good living. Okay? So I want to hear feedback on that too after this module. What do you think my expectations are for you during the time you will be spending together with me this morning? Okay? And a couple of things I'll add Leobar on is my objectives are to you to be a professional salesperson, be able to talk to people and be confident in your speech, know the product that you're selling, and know the flow of the process here. Everything has a process. What are the three responsibilities of a professional salesperson? Number one, find the best car that fits the customer's needs. You'll be going through questioning of the customer. You'll listen, repeat back what they said so the customer knows you're paying attention. Customer may want a truck. What's he going to do with it? May want a car that gets great gas mileage. You have to find that out. To make sure it also fits in the budget of the customer. Every customer has a minimum threshold that they'll pay for a car. Most importantly, do all this in a timely manner. Time kills deals, we say. Okay? The bell curve. Let's talk about what a bell curve is. This is really the way I want to explain the bell curve to you is 10% of the customers probably won't do anything you ask. Okay? They're kind of the left side, low thinkers. Okay? 20% on the other side will do. Okay? They love the car, they like you, and those are things that they have to do. Okay? Before you can proceed with the sale, you have to make this group over here. 10% will like you and do what you ask. But in the middle, the majority of the customers you'll come in contact with, 80% need some help making their decision. Okay? And a couple of ways that you can do that, and we'll get more in depth with it later, but is do a great walk around the vehicle presentation, 10 or 15 minutes, building value in the vehicle. Being professional in your speech, showing them better than the last guy they were in front of. Reducing resistance. We believe, and it's our experience, that everybody that comes up here is elevated. They got walls up. Your job is, in your line of questioning, professionalism, is to ease those walls down, okay? So that the customer feels comfortable being here, being in our building, being with you, and that we have great inventory. So one of the biggest hurdles you'll face in the sales department is handling customers' resistance. And that comes with you being professional. As salespeople, create a lot of resistance we deal with in ways we never realize. Okay? You got to be friendly, you got to be professional, and you got to do it all in a timely manner. Professional selling techniques. We're going to get into this, and by the end of this module, you'll understand how to think from the perspective of a customer. Okay? Put yourself in their shoes, if you will. How you want to be treated. Do you want it to drag on? Do you want somebody that doesn't have good product knowledge? And one of the things you're going to have to do is you sell cars, trucks, sport utilities, and vans. You're going to need to know all the ins and outs of those vehicles, the features of those vehicles, the benefits of somebody owning that vehicle by being a good listener. Also comprehend the target steps of professional selling. The target steps. What are the target steps? We'll get into that in a second. Learn how to effectively implement the target process into your sales efforts. Okay? It'll help you sell the car, get to the objective of the customer in a timely fashion. Professional selling. What do you think some of the questions are on the minds of your customers when they come up? Will I get a guy that knows what he's talking about? Right? Does he know the product? Is he going to be like the last store I left that didn't know those things? Okay? So you've got to know the product, be professional, be helpful, and get to what their needs are. Can I? Will I? What's in it for me? Can I buy the car maybe? That's some of the things that the customer's on their minds. Will I be able to afford it? Will I get a good salesperson? Will I get a good car? Will I get a good deal? Okay? And what's in it for me? Let's go over the target sales model, if you will. Temperature. We start everything left to right, meet and greet. This is you have one time to make a great impression, a first impression, if you will. Good morning. Welcome to Butler Automotive Group. I'm Robert Branch, and you are? And then turn loose of their hand, right? That's the temperature. We check his temperature. A lot of customers you'll see got their hands in their pocket, or they got their arms crossed. That's a wall. That's defense, okay? And it's probably a lot to do with the last place they shopped at, okay? Analyze. This is where after the meet and greet, we bring them inside, sit them down at their desk, offer them water, coffee. If they need the restroom, show them where that is. And we sit down and ask the opening questions. Opening questions require you, the customer, to respond, okay? And briefly, some of those opening questions, is a car for you or somebody else? We have to counsel with them, find out what they want. What are you hoping to accomplish today? I want to trade this car in for another car. Okay? What does he like about it? What does he dislike about it? Make sense? And then what does he like on the next one? What does he wish his had? Well, I wish mine had the navigation. Then there's your hot button. When you show him the new Camry, show him the safety, convenience, and the navigation and how easy it is to work. Right? Reasons for buying. You got to find out what his reasons are. Maybe it's only navigation. Maybe he wants great gas mileage. Find out what it is and give him a reason to buy it now. Guaranteed solution. Product presentation. Pull the car out of the hole, wherever it's parked, isolate it, and open everything on it. The trunk, the hood, make sure all the doors are unlocked, and do a 10 or 15 minute presentation. This is where you build value. Okay? Demo ride. Always drive first. When you're driving, you're going to talk about everything on it, how easy it is to do the nav. If that's his hot button, okay? If he's got a truck, you want to know what the towing capacity. I need a diesel truck to pull my camper. What's the weight of the camper? 14,000 pounds. Well, this truck pulls 18,000 towing capacity. Then talk about that. Find out what his hot buttons are. Trial close. This is where, on the demo ride, you're driving, you pull into a nice area, and you get out, let the customer drive. While the customer's driving, you be quiet. If he asks you a question, you answer it. If you don't know the answer, don't tell a story. Just say something like, that's a great question. When we get back to the dealership, I'm going to get you the right answer. I hope that makes sense. Okay? And when you get close to the dealership, make a trial close. Everybody's got a different trial close. Some trial closes would be, Mr. Customer, do you see any reason when we get back to the dealership we can't proceed with this purchase today? And let him respond. Mr. Customer, I can tell you really like this Camry. Am I right? Is this the vehicle you want to see in your driveway? It is? Great. Pull right up here. I'm going to need your insurance card. Things like that, okay? You're testing the water. You're seeing if you've done your job on the walk around, on the 15-minute vehicle presentation, on the demo, building value, and see if you're right on target. Review, if he's got a trade-in, you need to, if he's replacing a vehicle or trading in a vehicle, you need to ask about that. Go out and look at it. Get a manager involved early and often. Go look at the trade, get the actual miles, get the VIN number. While you're pulling up the new vehicle, let the manager appraise the car. You get a 10 or 20 day payoff on their car and go show the other one. Make sense? Enlist buyer commitment and close. When you get the pencil, the quote, as we call it, from the sales manager, be confident when you present the numbers. Congratulations, Mr. Customer. The vehicle you selected is available, and you're going to pull the sheet in front and go over it. Here's the address we're going to title. I want to make sure that's the right address. Number 2, we're buying the 2022 Camry LE, and you're trading in the 16 Camry LE. All that's correct, right? Now, check this out. Here's the numbers. I've taken the liberty to figure you 9 retail payments with various amounts down, puts you in full control of the purchase of the 22 Camry. I'm giving you multiple choices. If you will, just take this pen, pause a second, let him take it. Just circle the payment, down payment, the best fits your budget, sign the bottom, and I'll get everything ready for you. And wait. 20% are going to pick up the pen and circle the payment and down payment. Remember the 80 in the bell curve. Those are the ones that you have to maybe overcome some objections. What's the price of the car? What are you giving me for mine? What's the interest rate on these payments? All in my phone skills book, overcoming objections. Okay? We'll get into that later. Close the deal. Enlist the buyer commitment, right? Take this pen, circle the payment, down payment. When you get a quote from your manager, your main objective is to find out what he'll pay a month and what he will pay down, and build value. The more money you put down, the lower the payment. The less you put down, the higher the payment. Okay? Track and follow through. Turn over to F&I or your manager early and often. Deliver the vehicle. Your responsibility is to get your paperwork ready, a new or used deal pack, get the customer to sign it, take it back to the manager for approval, and wait for F&I. Let the customer know beforehand what you're going to do. Mr. Customer, we're going to get you in line to finance. While you're waiting in line for that, he's got your deal and all your paperwork. I'm going to get the vehicle cleaned and gassed up. When that vehicle comes back from cleanup, it's your responsibility to have a world-class delivery of that vehicle, making sure it's clean and got gas in it. And follow up. CSI, Customer Satisfaction Index, is very, very important for us. Okay? What that means is when you sell a car, you need to follow up that everything is still 100% great with that customer. And if they've got a problem, it becomes your problem. Get a manager involved and handle it ASAP. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you. Model versus process. A model is simply a theory. A process is the activity. I told you earlier in this segment that everything we do is a process, a flow, if you will. Okay? From the meet and greet to bringing them in the office to counsel with their needs, to selecting a vehicle based on what they told you they want and must have, doing a world-class presentation, demo ride, trial close, and close the deal when you get the quote sheet, get the delivery ready, and follow up. Okay? We'll talk about that a little further. Temperature. What is a customer? You have to be strong enough to see if this customer's still got walls up. What's his temperature? Not his body temperature, but what is his temperature? What's his body language? Remember, hands in the pocket, crossed. He's not responding to your questions that you ask. Who are they with? Right? If you're looking at a small car and the guy's got his wife and him and 3 children, where are you going to sit? You have to find out who's the car for. Who's the driver going to be? Okay? And that's who you're going to take on the demo ride. Does that make sense? What are they driving? Right? What kind of vehicle are they driving? Is that the vehicle you're going to be replacing today? Let's go look at it. Right? If he says no, well, listen, we're paying top dollar for those cars. It will never be worth more than it is right now. You sure you don't want to let us at least look at it and get you an appraisal on it? Right? Body language. And remember, with body language, and through this whole process, you're in charge, not the customer. Okay? By the questioning you have and how your professionalism flows. How many people are they with? Watch the customers as they leave their car. Analyze. What activities or questions would help you analyze the reason this customer wants to buy a vehicle from you? Ask effective questions, right? We have what's called a discovery sheet. It'll ask, the vehicle you're in now, what do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? The next vehicle, what are some of the must-haves? We talked about navigation. My other car doesn't have navigation. This one's got to have it because we're commuting back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Determine the reasons for buying through the use of broad and specific and narrowing questions. Right? The car's for my wife. What are you going to use it for? She drives back and forth to the hospital where she's a nurse. Okay? So we got to have this wrapped up today, right? The car's for our anniversary. When's your anniversary? It's Saturday. Today's Tuesday. We need to wrap this up today, right? And remind me to get a nice bow. And let him respond. Well, according to what the price is, according to what my payments are, according to what you give me from out, those are all overcoming objections. But now you've got the customer engaged in conversation, which is what you want. Okay? So you're right on track. Taking the customer's temperature correctly. We've talked about that. If you've got a guy that is stiff-arming you, won't communicate with you, won't talk, then you've got to do something like grab your forehead and say, give me a second. I think I got something that will really help us. And go get a manager. A new face. Maybe they get along fine. And you still get credit. Okay? So determine the temperature is very important. Ask effective questions by the use of questioning techniques. We covered that. What do you think happens if you cannot determine the customer's reasons for buying? It's going to be real hard to get them to buy from you. You have to be special. You have to ask the right questions to make sure that customer feels nice and engaging and likes where you are, where you're going and what you're presenting him. G is for guaranteed solutions. What factors make the best guaranteed solutions? Taking the customer's temperature correctly, asking effective questions, presenting features and benefits. Features and benefits. The guy already told you he wants nav, or he's towing a camper that's 14,000 pounds. You discovered that. You got to ask that. How many pounds is your camper? What's the weight of your camper? 14,000 pounds. Great. This truck pulls 18,000. If it's a dually, they're over 30,000 pounds. It'll pull it great. If he's got to have nav or some special feature, then explain that feature and the benefit of him having it. Every car that's manufactured in the country has extensive safety and features on it. Side airbags, airbags in the front, safety, steel beams in the doors. In the event, God forbid, of somebody T-bones you, it's going to protect your family. Protecting your family, that's important to you, right? And they're going to say, yes. Who wouldn't? Okay? So presenting features and benefits. is for enlist the buyer's commitment. What activities during the sale help you enlist your customer's commitment? Overcoming objections. He's got an objection. What could it be? He may tell you about his last visit at some other dealership. If you'll ask the right questions, he'll tell you the way to selling. Close the sale, right? What do we mean close the sale? Demo ride, presentation of the vehicle, letting him drive, do the trial close, right? I can tell you really like this vehicle. Is this the one? Great. I got to tell you something, Mr. Customer. Finding the right vehicle for my customers is the hardest part of my job. So I'm happy that we finally got the right vehicle for you. Now let's walk inside and get the rest of it done. Okay? Trial close. T is for track and follow through. What activities following the buyer's commitment must you track and follow through in order to complete this sale? High quality vehicle delivery. He's in finance, you're getting the vehicle, it's your responsibility to make sure the vehicle is clean when it comes out of cleanup and that it's got gas. And you know the product. We talked about that earlier. You got so many models that we carry. You need to walk the used car lot. You need to go drive, sit in some of them and familiarize yourself with the features on that car and what it'll do. High quality delivery. Show him everything on it. Manufacturer's guide for delivery. Every vehicle has a guide of how you deliver the vehicle. Thank you notes. This is very important. In the generation we're in now with everybody texting, emailing, social media and other things, this one play, if you can run it, is go get you some thank you cards and handwrite it and handwrite the envelope, stick it in the mail. Okay? And that you become a friend. Another thing, okay, I would suggest, I don't answer my cell phone. Think about this question. I don't answer my cell phone if the caller is not in my contacts. Do you feel the same way? I gotta believe you do, and a lot of our customers feel the same way as you and I. Let it go to voicemail, we're busy, okay? But if I encourage that customer after the commitment or before he's made the commitment, if he's leaving without my car, okay, then save my number in your cell phone. And I'll do the same for you. 85% of the people that are in your contacts will answer that call. They know who you are. You have to let them know who you are forever. After the sale, you're going to follow up. Make sure he's fine. Even a year from now, 2 years from now. Because why? He's going to send you friends and family and co-workers that are in the need of a car. And that's how you build your book of business. Calls, email, personal notes. Psychology of selling. What benefits does a professional sales process offer you in the automotive sales career? Consistency. It's always the same presentation, so there's no surprises. If you present yourself the same way in the meet and greet, counsel asks the same questions, listen carefully, repeat what the customer said he wants and needs are, and lets him know you're listening, okay? Do a world-class vehicle presentation, 10 or 15 minutes, is where we build value. Do the demo ride the same path. Let the customer pull over and let the customer drive the same area, and then do the trial close. All the same. Consistency with every customer. And follow up after the sale. Control. We know where our path will take us. If you'll be consistent with your process and our process in the dealership, you'll know that you're confident, which leads to control. You're confident. Remember we talked about earlier during this segment that if the customer's in charge and got you fetching keys, okay, then you're not in control. Confidence in ourselves and in the customer's confidence in us. You want to be better than the last store that they left, the last sales rep. Desire. The customer's desire to buy ours right now. All these things we talked about will lead to that. Things to remember. Always be professional. Don't compromise your integrity or character to make a sale, or the Butler Automotive Group's character. We never lie. If you don't know the answer, remember, go get help. That's a great question, Mr. Customer. We get back to the dealership, I'm going to get the right answer. I want to be 100% correct on everything I tell you. Right? Make sense? That's the only way we do business. Focus on serving the customer. Do you know what I mean? Husband and wife, I want you to speak to both of them. Call them by their first name through the whole process. You've got young kids with them. Develop some kind of relationship where you're speaking to them too.